What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building talking some good Detroit basketball. Hopefully we can go live tonight. Been a little bit hectic, but this ain't the Detroit video that I was going to go live on. But the development of Reggie Jackson under Dwayne Casey will be very vital and very important to both of their careers. You know, Dwayne Casey, I was looking up when he got to Toronto, he had DeMar DeRozan, Jamal McClure, and some other guys on the team as well. But the next year he got Kyle Lowery, and he was able to develop Kyle Lowery as a point guard. He was a guy that was drafted by Memphis, spent 3 years in Memphis. I think he spent another 3 years in Houston. And he was a guy that was on the fritz. You know, at a point, Randy Foye was considered better than Kyle Lowery. Now, for us that are college basketball historians, we remember Allen Ray, Kyle Lowery, and Randy Foye being one of the better teams that Villanova had. You know, Jay Wright had. You know, they didn't win it, though. You know what I'm saying? Allen Ray didn't make it in the league. Randy Foye hung around the league for a minute. But Kyle Lowery turned out to be the best Villanova Wildcat out of all of them. And that was credited to, I think, Dwayne Casey kind of molded him into the point guard that he always could be. And I think he's going to have to do something similar to Reggie Jackson. We talked about how Casey had to develop Stanley Johnson and Luke Kennard, and those are the two pieces that he needs to develop, because they are the two guys that can really hit shots. And Stanley Johnson got that all-star potential. If he materializes into the third wheel to Blake Griffin and Drummond, that's going to be very important. And Luke Kennard can really, I thought about they can kind of play, mold him into a point guard kind of. I'm not sure if he really can do it, but he really could be a knockdown shooter and he gets a good scorer. But I think Reggie Jackson is going to need Dwayne Casey the same way Chauncey Billups needed Larry Brown. And Larry Brown molded Chauncey Billups into the point guard that he was. Chauncey was a dude with a world of potential. He was a top, 2 or 3, 4 pick or something like that, top 5 pick with Boston. Just never materialized in the league until he got to Detroit. And I'm pretty sure he thought his career was over when he got to Detroit. And Larry Brown, molded him. And hopefully Dwayne Casey can do that, because he did it with Kyle Lowery. If he can develop Reggie Jackson and get Reggie Jackson to get out that Russell Westbrook mentality and that entitlement that he feels like he had, like he's entitled to be an all-star superstar in this league, he has to change his mentality first, and he got to change his psyche. He got to show him that, you got to humble him, man. And it seems like Reggie Jackson never comes back humble enough. Even after staying the man benched him and all that, he still is erratic. He got to show him how to play the right way. Now with Larry Brown's calling card with Chauncey Billups, showing Chauncey Billups how to play the quote-unquote right way. And before Dwayne Casey can do that with Reggie Jackson, he got to show him to think the right way. He got to take him to a whole different place, and he got to take him to Humbleville. He has to legitimately tear this dude down and humble him, because this dude thinks he's a John Wall and Damian Lillard or Russell Westbrook. He's not. He got to understand. He got to get him to understand how to play within his parameters in his game, not Dwayne Casey's parameter in his game, but his own ability. And he got to get him to stay healthy too. He got to get him to stay healthy. He got to get him to channel in, because at the end of the day, you on the books for $30+ million for this guy for the next 2 years, I believe. So you're not gonna buy him out, because you're already still paying Josh Smith $5 million per year. I mean, you're gonna want to try to make it work, or you're gonna have $30-something million sitting on the bench and let Luke Kennard and Ish Smith or whoever you draft or bring in be the point guard. But I prefer for Dwayne Casey to make it work, because Reggie Jackson, you can see the ability in him. He got the skills. He just got to remain healthy and probably kind of treat his body different, man, and put his body through a new workout regimen. Eat a little bit different. Do some more strength and conditioning. But that's on him. Dwayne Casey really ain't got no control over that part. Dwayne Casey got control of showing him how to run the team, when to pick his spot, similar to Chauncey and Kyle Lowery. He really helped Kyle Lowery get to be an all-star when people wrote Kyle Lowery off. Kyle Lowery wasn't an all-star before he got to Toronto. He wasn't nowhere close to that. And Reggie Jackson, in my opinion, got more ability than Kyle Lowery had physically, but does he have the mentality and the mental aptitude to really welcome in Dwayne Casey and be open to what Dwayne Casey gonna show him? And at least Dwayne Casey, he say, look, man, he could say Reggie Jackson, sit him down and say, look, that's what I did for Kyle Lowery. I think you could be better than Kyle Lowery, even if it's true or not true. Hyping him up, like Custom Auto did Mike Tyson. Even if it's not true, I think you could be better than him. I think you're faster, quicker, you're taller, you're longer. I think you could be just as good a shooter. This is what we need you to do. This is how we're going to run this offense, and I need you to, play within those parameters and just string them on little bit by little bit. Dwayne Casey is brought here to develop the talent that's already here. At the end of the day, the Pistons want to develop talent now, and I was down with player development, but my whole premise of it was you want to go younger. I won't give away my next video, but if they think they can win with this team, he could develop Luke Kennard. He can develop Stanley Johnson. He can help continue to develop Reggie Bullock. He can develop, Reggie Jackson and all. He can develop those guys. We ain't even got to Blake Griffin and Drummond yet. If he can develop those guys, this team can move up in the East really, really good. But I ain't seen a coach develop them yet. Stanley Johnson, I ain't seen it. But we seen players, go other places. Spencer Dinwiddie, Chris Middleton. We seen other players go other places and develop. So it seems like, the Pistons get it right when it comes to drafting guys sometimes, especially the later guys, but they just don't develop them right. And I think Dwayne Casey has a track record of developing players, and hopefully he can develop Reggie Jackson. I think that might be the single most important developmental player he got to develop on the team. If he can get to him, I think Luke Kennard and Stanley Johnson can follow. He can develop those two with ease. But it's Motor City Sports Talk. Hopefully we can get a live stream going later tonight, y'all. If not, I'll come back in sometime tomorrow and do live stream. But hopefully it'll be tonight. I put a little link up. You'll see what time we go live with the Google Hangouts. You can be able to wait in the lobby or whatever. But I definitely appreciate it. We're on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Make sure you follow us on those platforms. Links are in the description. Definitely appreciate everybody for listening and help continue to grow the channel. I can't wait to Lions season start off. Really can start talking some real good football talk every week or multiple times a week. We gone.